Take a breath. Because deep inside you, right now, there is a war so massive it makes everything on your skin look like a street fight. Down here, the armies aren't in the millions. They're in the trillions. 40 trillion soldiers. More living things than there are stars in our galaxy. And they are all packed into the dark, twisting tunnels of your gut. You feed this war 3 times a day. You just call it lunch. And by the end of this video, you'll realize you were never truly in control of your own body. Welcome to the most crowded place in the known universe. Your gut! A dark, winding world stretching nearly 30 feet inside you. And living in it, 40 trillion bacteria. Let that sink in. There are more bacteria in your gut right now than there are cells that make up the rest of your body. Think about what that means. By the numbers, you are more them than you. Together, this hidden army weighs as much as your brain, around 3 pounds of pure, living microbes. An entire organ you never knew you had. And this isn't chaos. It's a civilization. Hundreds of different species, each with its own territory, its own job, its own enemies. Some break down the food you can't digest on your own. Some manufacture vitamins your body cannot make. Some train your defenses. And some are just waiting for their moment to turn on you. Because in this kingdom, the line between friend and enemy is thinner than you think. First, meet the defenders. The good bacteria, the ones keeping the whole kingdom alive. Meet Bifidobacteria. One of the very first allies to ever colonize you. They moved in the day you were born. They guard the walls. They crowd out invaders. And they've been protecting your borders since before you could even open your eyes. Next, Lactobacillus. The chemists of the kingdom. They turn your food into acid, flooding the battlefield with a weapon invaders can't survive. Every time they feed, they make your gut a more dangerous place for the enemy to live. And then, the engineers. Bacteria that take the fiber you eat and transform it into something called butyrate. This is the fuel that feeds the wall of your gut itself. Without it, the wall weakens. It cracks. It leaks. These tiny creatures are quite literally holding your insides together. And here's the secret to their power. There are so many of them, eating so much, claiming so much ground, that a hostile invader has nowhere to land. No space. No food. No future. A peaceful kingdom, but only because the good army never stops working. The moment they falter, everything changes. Now look closer at the wall itself, because this is the most important border in your entire body. On one side, that trillion-strong horde of bacteria. On the other side, your blood. Your organs. And the wall keeping them apart? It is a single cell thick. What? Cell? That is the only thing standing between the chaos of your gut and the rest of your body. Which is exactly why your body stations its greatest army right here. Around 70% of your entire immune system is positioned along this wall. Watching. Waiting. Reading every microbe that comes close. Friend is allowed to stay. Enemy is destroyed on sight. It is the largest concentration of defenders anywhere inside you, guarding the thinnest, most fragile border you have. And there's one more line of defense. A thick layer of mucus, blanketing the entire wall, keeping even the friendly bacteria from ever touching the surface directly. Close enough to cooperate. Never close enough to invade. A fragile, perfect piece, held together by a wall thinner than a sheet of paper. But this piece can shatter. And when it does, it's brutal. Meet one of the enemy's deadliest fighters. Clostridioids difficile. See death. On a healthy battlefield, it's helpless, buried under the good army, starved, surrounded. It waits in the shadows for one thing. For the wall of defenders to fall. And sometimes, we knock down that wall ourselves. A round of antibiotics, meant to save you, sweeps through the kingdom like a firestorm. But it doesn't only kill the enemy. It wipes out your good army too, the defenders, the engineers, the chemists. All of them. Gone in days. And suddenly the battlefield is empty. Wide open. Undefended. This is the moment C. diff has been waiting for. With the good army gone, it explodes across the empty kingdom unopposed. It multiplies. It attacks the wall. It releases toxins that tear the border apart from the inside. What was a thriving civilization becomes a battlefield in ruins. This is how a gut falls. But your body does not surrender. The immune army along the wall throws itself at the invader. And the war can be won, sometimes by reseeding the kingdom entirely, flooding it with billions of fresh, good bacteria to take back the ground and rebuild the army from nothing. Brick by brick, the wall is repaired. Species by species, the kingdom returns. The border is restored. And the fragile peace begins again. So the next time you sit down to eat, remember what you're really doing. You're not just feeding yourself. You're supplying an army of 40 trillion. You're funding a war that never ends. A war fought in the dark, every second, behind a wall a single cell thick. And here's the part that should stay with you. These trillions of creatures don't just digest your food. They send signals to your brain. They influence your mood, your cravings. Even, some scientists believe, the way you feel right now. Which raises a question you can't unask. When you make a decision, is it really you? Or is it them? You are a world. And the war inside you never, ever stops. If this rewired the way you see your own body, subscribe. Because next time, we go somewhere even more dangerous. Into your blood, where a single invader can trigger the most violent war your body will ever fight.